is the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday. It's the 7th of April, 2020. It's the birthday of the movie director who, by the time he was 30 years old, was $300,000 in debt, thought he was finished, and then he was offered the job of directing a mobster movie. Francis Ford Coppola, born in Detroit, 1939, and the movie was The Godfather, released in 1972. The first city-to-city television broadcast took place on this date, 1927. Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover was in a studio in Washington. There was an audience in an auditorium in New York City. The broadcast began with a close-up of Hoover's forehead because he was sitting too close to the camera, but he backed up and gave a speech in which he said, "There has been created a marvelous agency for whatever use the future may find, with the full realization that every great and fundamental discovery of the past has been followed by use far beyond the vision of its creator." It's the birthday of the conservationist who wrote about the Florida Everglades, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, born in Minneapolis, 1890. Her father was the editor of the Miami Herald, and that's how she came to be in Florida. She wrote novels and short stories, plays and poems, best remembered now for her book, The Everglades River of Grass, published 1947, the same year that Everglades National Park was dedicated. In the book, she makes clear that the Everglades is not a swamp, it is a broad, shallow waterway. When she was 103, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. When she died 5 years later, her ashes were spread over the Everglades. It was on this day, 1969, the Supreme Court unanimously struck down laws prohibiting private possession of obscene material. And exactly 21 years later, 1990, Robert Mapplethorpe's photographs opened at the Contemporary Art Center in Cincinnati. The center and its director were then indicted on obscenity charges. They were acquitted by a jury a few months later, and in the meantime, the exhibition had drawn bigger crowds than for any other show in the city's history. It's the birthday of William Wordsworth, born in Cockermouth, England, 1770, who wrote his great poems in his 20s, Tintern Abbey, the ode Intimations of Immortality, and I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. And it's the birthday of the singer Billie Holiday, born Eleanora Fagan, Baltimore in 1915. Her career took off when she recorded with Benny Goodman. Lester Young gave her the nickname Lady Day. She struggled with addiction all of her short life. Her apartment in the Bronx always open to unemployed musicians. She left a plate on the table with money for food and subway fares. She died in 1959 at the age of 44. Here's a poem by William Wordsworth on his birthday. I have thoughts that are fed by the sun. The things which I see are welcome to me, welcome every one. I do not wish to lie dead, dead, dead without any company. Here alone on my bed with thoughts that are fed by the sun and hopes that are welcome every one, happy am I. O life, there is about thee a deep, delicious peace. I would not be without thee. Stay, oh stay, yet be thou ever as now, sweetness and breath with the quiet of death. Be but thou ever as now. Peace, peace, peace. William Wordsworth's poem, I have thoughts that are fed by the sun. That's the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday, April the 7th. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.